And welcome back. Alright, so the camp is ahead of you. You can see there are goblins running about the kind of paths they've trimmed out. They've kind of laid down a couple of stones here and there to make these kind of makeshift little, like, roads and pathways that run between things. How do you guys want to approach?
I guess I'm gonna be asking these other party members here. So, any of you guys got any social skills? Or are we just fight goblins and take money?
Do any of you speak Goblin?
I don't.
Nope.
Well, hopefully they
I don't
speak
have any languages written down.
So, as a hobgoblin, I can't believe we forgot to go over your languages. What's your intel modifier?
Why is this open?
Okay, 2. So you know, as a hobgoblin, you know common and goblin automatically. So you're already good there, and then you'll need to pick out 2 languages before the start of next session.
Alright. I know how to speak Goblin.
Huh. Well, maybe there's our inroad. But are we prepared if things go south? Can we see, like, in the village, if are there like other humanoid people, or is it all goblins? Like, are we gonna stick out like a sore thumb if we, or can we not tell from just outside the village?
I got Jack's perception. Let me get your perception here, because you're a distance out.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you can see that there are things moving around. It's hard from this distance to tell, like, about what size they are.
Okay.
However, Shek Saga, you are pretty, like, you notice that there is clearly a dark tone to everything, at the very least. So there's a lot of, like, dark colored movement. Nothing of, like, a lighter color. And
Saga, what do you think? Are we gonna stick out if we walk in there like this group? Are we gonna cause any trouble? Or do you know how goblins live? Kind of look kind of goblin-y, no offense.
How much do I know about goblins?
Let's see here. Give me a based on your skills, not a whole lot. You were really a lot more focused on your own personal stuff. So you don't really know too much about your kind. Or any derivatives thereof. These are magical goblins, you might know more.
Ozzy, you got anything to help us here?
I could try talking to them if they,
Well, you don't speak Goblin though, right?
speak Goblin.
Okay.
If they establish a village, I'm guessing they might speak common, but...
So exactly what do you mean by you can talk, like, are you talking about, like...
I have some diplomacy skills.
Diplomacy? Okay.
And I feel like I'm alright at telling whether or not they're on me.
Perhaps we should walk in looking less threatening. Can you sheathe your weapons or hide them, kind of? Yes, my hands are weapons too, so...
Well, yeah, I definitely can't hide this, like, massive greatsword or this massive bow.
Hmm.
So...
well, I'm just
Am I
afraid they're gonna
supposed-
use as a threat right when we walk in there.
Am I supposed
Blood
to,
off me
like,
as
take
possible.
my arm off then?
Alright,
do you
forget that.
guys recall they said, the goblins know we're coming to collect this?
The goblins
I
do
don't
not know
think
that
they
you're
do.
coming.
Okay.
Perhaps we don't make our intentions known that we're here to collect taxes. Maybe we should feel out the situation first. I'm sure if Shuksaga makes nice speaking goblin, they won't, they shouldn't attack us all immediately. And we can kind of feel out the situation before we demand money from them. What say you, Jack? Leader of party?
I mean, we can go to the inn, grab a drink, kind of get a lay of the land type of thing. But
Do goblins
Probably
have
not gonna
inns?
want-
Well, I guess
we'll
we'll
find out. I mean, they're gonna drink somewhere.
That's
I say let's find out. We're not going to figure anything
So,
out standing
so
out
if
here.
there's no inn, like I mean, there'll probably be like a city square, something like that.
Ryan, what are
I
you
have faith
using?
in-
Hold on a sec. Ryan, what are you using for your mic there?
I'm using this headset.
I don't even see the mic. It's cutting out almost as much. Can you adjust the receiver? Or is
I'm
it?
not
Are you
sure.
picking up? I think you're picking up from your computer. Lean towards your computer and let me see if that's the case. No.
Better?
Yes. Okay. So I
That
think you are
is better.
Yes.
Oh, it might be picking up from my computer mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta switch that in settings.
If the headset even has a microphone on it.
It's what I was talking to you earlier on the phone with.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
All right. So yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt and break everyone's immersion. Ryan just tried to say a few things, and it was just like dead silent.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Oh yeah,
tell
I
at
had
all.
no idea he was even trying to talk. So.
Yeah. All right. So carry on. Sorry. You guys were deciding your approach.
Yeah, we're gonna head in towards what looks like a tavern, an inn.
Okay.
Everybody's drinking out in the middle of the city, you know.
All right, in here, as you guys start moving in, give me a perception and a sense motive.
From all of us?
From all of you, yeah. Check Saga, I don't know why I even asked for these checks from you.
Hey, me too.
Yeah.
I'm too busy taking notes on what the city looks like, okay?
Yes. Actually, a good thing. Do you, let me double check this. Do you have any skills that would kind of equate to that?
I can appraise the city.
How much
Actually,
is the city worth?
Actually, I'm going to kind of give that to you. So go ahead and give me an appraise check. That is actually what you're spending more of your time working on. Coming up with like what the relative value of the city might be. And actually, you get a pretty decent idea. Like so everybody's wandering around. Arius, you're pretty well aware of the like stares you're getting from people as you walk through the town, through the village, but nobody's really like approaching you where they're all kind of like skittish. They don't seem concerned with getting aggressive or hostile or trying to like do anything negative towards you. Shack Saga, though, as you're going around, you notice like this is actually not a bad little village. Like they seem to have a good amount of like things that you would normally not see in some villages this size. So whatever they brought down from the mountains, they've got some niceties. Like they've actually got some gardens that managed to be growing. They've managed to tame a bit of livestock here. So there are various like small animals. Weirdly, like a couple of goats. They have like they have often like a little fenced off area. But the interesting thing that really catches your eye is there's quite a bit of like gemmed objects as you pass by places. A lot more emeralds and rubies than you would expect to see in a village this size. Like a substantial and significant amount more. Like you'd only kind of see this thing if you'd only see this amount of gems if you were in like maybe a town not too far from a mining operation. So this is pretty substantial in terms of like the overall value. You could probably just take some of the gems out of these houses and bring them back to town and get like the 100 gold that would be the taxes. So they definitely seem like they have the money to pay taxes. The rest of you kind of move through town. Everything, all the signage is in Goblin. And as you start to get closer towards the center of town, You guys will start to notice these. Actually, Ozzy, I did not get perception and sense motives from you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perception and sense motive.
Yep. Oh,
The
excellent.
skills I have.
Okay. So you, by the way, are heavily noticing like that you have the attention of basically every goblin in town. In addition, they are all looking at you in a rather terrified way. They're looking at you the way that actually it's not a good example because you didn't succeed in your mission. I wish anybody else who had succeeded in their mission got the sense motive side of this. But as you're wandering around, you notice though that they are very, very fearful of you. As you're wandering about the streets, though, there are these poles with a flag hanging down on them. And across the flag, there are two handprints. One is a handprint that is like dark and brown and looks like somebody dipped their hand in mud and then slapped it up on the side of like a big a big white flag. And then the other one is a dark red handprint, looking as if somebody had like dipped their hand in a pool of blood and slapped it next to the muddied hand.
And these are both goblin-sized handprints, I'm assuming?
They are both goblin-sized handprints
Can
on
you
a
hear me better
rather
now, by the
large
way?
flag.
Okay. Can you hear me better now, by the way?
100%. More than
Okay,
100%, in fact.
Alright, I don't like this. I'm gonna mention the flag and everything to everyone.
Perhaps
Does anyone have knowledge local or history?
I have knowledge religion with no ranks in it.
Nope. Alright. So this doesn't strike up any significance to any of you. Without a very good, well, I guess perception-wise, Ozzy, you notice as you're going about town, not any signage, because all the signage is letters in Goblin. And since Shaksaga kind of has her face buried in her notes, keep taking notes about the value of the area, you'll be the first to notice like some very familiar sounds. The sounds of like tankards being slammed down on a table, or the clinking of glasses against each other, coming from a nearby building right about here.
Alright.
Not sure if you can see that because of the green on green.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
Sorry, I was in the wrong tab.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna kind of look over there and motion to the rest of the party.
Alright, we'll head in.
Okay. Well, heading in is interesting. Every building here, you've almost like stood above until you get closer to the center of town, where the buildings kind of start reaching about your height level, but the doors don't necessarily start reaching your height level. You can kind of duck in and make your way in, but you'll be at a crouch to move through this
Okay.
place.
Yeah, that probably won't work for an inn, so for a
Yeah.
tavern or whatever this is.
But as you glance inside, you do notice it does appear to be a tavern. There are like small sized tables set up, and goblins are hanging about in there having their drinks, and they all kind of stop when they see like a rather large face peer inside. And like everything goes from the regular roar of a tavern to a very still silence with a lot of small yet large eyes staring back.
Alright, like, does it open up inside as to where we'd be able to stand after crawling in?
You would still have to kind of stay hunched over, but the ceiling is higher, so you would be able to move about here much easier than you would in most of the rest of the buildings here. The ceiling's about 5.5 feet.
All four of us are, like, medium-sized races, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Wait, wouldn't I be able to fit in fine?
Hobgoblin? No, that's medium.
No, she would technically, because she's 4'10", so she would fit underneath the 5'5" once she gets inside. She's at like the bottom end of medium.
Alright, Alright, so, did you want to head in and grab us some drinks? I'll give you a gold to go pick some up.
Who are you talking to, Shaksaga?
Yeah.
Do you want to send her in by herself?
Head in. Well, if she can head in, we're gonna be at the door. Grab some drinks and bring them out to us.
Yeah, maybe make some small talk in Goblin and see what their opinion of foreigners is.
Or, well, here's the thing, like, don't, like, unless you need to, don't even speak Goblin, so maybe you'll overhear something that they're saying, thinking that you don't speak it.
I knew there's a reason I told them to give you the fist.
Alright, Shaq Saga, are you gonna head on in?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, I gave you the gold to buy us, like, some cheap ale.
So you head on in and head towards the counter. The goblins kind of look back at the door, then look at you, then look back at the door. Wait for a moment, and then some of them like start going back to drinking a little bit. Some of them start muttering to each other. Go ahead and give me a perception as you wander on through. The rest of the party can give me a perception as well if they want, but it is going to be at a -4. Alright, Ozzy, you were gonna slightly overhear a handful of, like, things, but mostly questions like... oh wait, you don't speak Goblin, so you don't even understand what they're saying. I just realized that. Yeah, basically.
Do I get a sense of, like, the tone of their voice or anything like that?
Give me
or
a
is it
sense
just
motive,
kinda-
because this will give you the ability to at least give sense motive on, like, what, So
Hell yeah.
you're listening to like these tones, and the thing that you get most is like confusion. They all seem to be like looking at her with that look like, do we go talk to this one? It's kind of like us, but it's with those things. Like they have a few words and then they glance back at you guys, and they have a few more words and look at her, and then they glance back the other way. Shaq Saga, you don't really hear anything, like, it's very noisy in here as the sounds start to come back up, so you don't really necessarily hear anything, but you can make your way over to the counter. If you're ordering drinks, do you order your drinks in Goblin or in Common?
I try and see if they know Common.
Okay. You speak to him in Common, and make sure there are 4 bartenders here. And this one does not understand what you're saying.
In that case, I decide to order in Goblin.
Okay. So what are you ordering? What kind of drinks are you ordering? Some
Did anyone
ales?
tell me what drinks they wanted?
Yeah,
Nope.
I said 4 cheap ales is what
Okay.
I gave her the gold to get.
Okay.
Then I'll get 4 cheap ales.
Okay. You say that, and for a moment the goblin stops.
And a train comes blaring through the town.
What was that?
The Goblin Express?
What an advanced civilization!
They built trains.
I don't know if I'd want to ride a goblin train. That sounds bad in 2 different kinds of ways.
The mayor is Green Justin.
Oh no. But the problem is that none of us made the high enough perception check to see the tracks.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't notice them. Green Justin.
Alright, so you put in your order, and the goblin stops and comes over to you and leans over the counter. What are you doing with them? Sorry. What are you... I want to do this right. What are you doing with them? They don't seem like your type.
We were grouped together. I kind of have to deal with them.
Aren't they smelly?
Yeah.
They often smell like flowers or like, you know, all those like nicey smells like trees and grass. Oh,
I'm over at the door spraying some cologne on.
I take exception to that. I'm covered in blood.
are these for them?
Yeah.
He turns around and starts dipping a mug into a giant. I've never
Barrel?
lost. Yes, thank you. I have never lost so many simple words in my entire life. And then like slams them down on the counter one after another. That'll be 8 coppers.
I hand him over the coppers.
Okay. Do you actually have coppers on you, or are you handing him over gold?
Oh, wait. Shoot, I don't have copper, do I?
Does not look like it. Looks like you have some silvers. It is 10 copper to a silver. So if you give him a silver, he will give you 2 copper back.
I will give him a silver.
Okay. Alright, you can have a chat with him some more, or you can bring the ale back out to the group.
I ask him about the place.
This place? This is my inn. This is the Many Hands... I'm sorry, this is my tavern. The Many Hands Tavern. Well, it's not really just my tavern. We call it Many Hands because it's my tavern and Ox Tavern and Rock's Tavern and Mock's Tavern.
That's my favorite magic card.
Mock's Tavern. And me,
Nice.
I'm Smocks.
It's nice to meet you, Smart.
Nice, maybe, to meet you. You not here kill us, right?
No.
Because we not have good experiences with humans. Humans tend to come in here, try to hurt us, want money all time. Or food. Eats goblins as food. They here eat goblins?
No. And we have no reason to hurt anyone.
I hope you're not lying. Max is better at telling whether or not someone is lying. I'm not so great. You may be big liar. I think you okay. You should probably take drinks out to friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goblin definitely failed its sense motive. Cause
Okay, you gonna bring the drinks back out to him?
Yep.
Alright, you carry the drinks. They are much smaller drinks than most mugs. Obviously, they are designed for goblins, not for regular people. So these are about half size. You bring them out and you can hand the little mugs over to everybody.
alright, how's it
Not
taste?
quite that small, but pretty close. Like you could kind of 2-finger these.
I sniff mine before drinking. Does it smell like anything bad? Or
Smells like a mix of all the spare alcohol.
Go ahead and give me a perception.
oh god,
It's poison.
With 3 parts water.
All right.
It's poisoned with 3
It
parts
smells. It smells like alcohol, but if it smells like booze, but it smells like booze if somebody like cut it and then cut it again and then probably cut it like a 3rd time.
Saga, did you see him? Did he pour all these in the same cups, or did he give special ones? Did you get the same one as us?
We all got the same one.
All right, I'll chug mine.
Okay. I'm actually going to steal this. I don't know if you've run into this yet, John, in watching Koibu, but I really like this idea.
Uh-oh.
So he has a system that he calls the grub system. It's a very simple system. You roll 3d6, and that is your grub stat. And the lower you roll, the like worse your sense of taste is. So like terrible things taste good to you just as much as just as much as good things taste good to you. And the higher your stat is, the more like you're susceptible to things that taste bad. So I want you real quick, give me a 3d6.
This is all of us?
Yeah,
Because
everybody
we're
can
all
give me a
drinking?
3d6.
3d6.
And we'll go ahead and add this. I really liked this idea. I hate to steal things from other games, but this was a really kind of genius idea.
I think that's fitting. I have the most refined taste out of all of them.
All right, so let's see. Shaq Saga got a 10. Putting these on character sheets. All right, so for you, Aureus, this tastes dreadful. Like, it's not only watered down, but like whatever they're using for ale barely passes for ale. You probably would have had a better glass of ale if you would have like smashed up some wheat until it became ale after letting it like sit in a room for a couple of months on its own to just air out. That would still probably have been a better ale than this. Jack, you think this ale is like passable? Like it's not terrible, but you could drink it if you had nothing else to drink. And Ozzy and Shax, you also kind of concur that this is bad, but not necessarily as bad as Arius is making this out to sound.
Wait. I'm drinking it?
Presumably, if you want to.
I wasn't gonna drink it.
Okay. You don't
I
have
just
to
thought
drink
I'm
it.
holding an extra cup for someone.
No. That's fine.
Because he said to get 4, and I thought it was 4 for everyone else.
Tastes about exactly what I expected from
Tastes bad, but I didn't expect goblin piss.
Tastes all right. Passable.
I would expect you to enjoy this after cutting a steak from a bison. Anyway, Shaksaga, what'd you find out in there?
I learned about the tavern.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know. You wanna go grab another round? Maybe see if you hear anything else, or
Oh, there's one other thing.
Hmm.
They were-
Yes?
The goblin I was talking to was telling me that they've had rough experiences with humans, and
That's what I was afraid of.
okay. I mean, well, no, that's good because we were planning to go the diplomatic route anyway. So
Well, yeah,
it sounds
I
like
guess-
that would have the most likely route of success right now.
We could promise, part of our deal is protection, right? So we can say that we'll protect them from the other humans.
Yeah, exactly. Solve their problem.
I think that's a good course of action. Do we have a
So, I
plan
mean-
B in case they refuse?
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point, we'll have to either change to intimidation or something else. But
Ryan, would you tell
I mean, it
would you tell
sounds
Thomas and
like
Percy to
the
stop that?
diplomatic route.
What's that?
Would you tell Thomas and Percy to stop that? All right, so it sounds like you guys are going for the diplomatic option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shaq Saga. Yeah. I guess check and see who's the leader of the town, if it's a mayor or whatever, and grab grab a few more of these passable drinks here.
How many more?
You guys having another one?
Hell no.
I don't see why not.
All right, so yeah, one for Ozzy, one for me, and one for you if you want it.
Are you sure you guys just don't want this one, and I can just grab another for the other person?
Yeah, Ozzy.
Alright, then I'll get one for you.
All right.
But yeah, so we need to know, who the leader of the town is, whether it's a mayor, whether it's a king, or who.
So I head back inside.
Okay. You
Grab
you
another.
head back up to the counter. Give me another perception as you make your way. Get another opportunity to maybe overhear something. No, not that making your way. All right, nope. Just totally oblivious. Make your way up to the counter. I don't even know why I asked for that.
I'm too busy singing to know.
Back so soon. Your friends are quick drinkers. I guess at their size, they would. Oh, I'm in the wrong voice. I'm in a halfling voice there.
Sounds like a goblin to me.
Your friends drink quick. You drink fast like
Yeah.
friends?
Not as fast, but
You want more? I have more. Lots more.
yeah, I'm looking for another one.
Okay. You want same thing?
Yeah.
Cause I got other thing. If you want have fun with friend.
What other thing?
I call it boom boom juice.
What is this?
It real strong. It make like boom boom in stomach.
In pants.
Well, okay, so this is something that you actually know since you know both goblin and common. Goblins don't really have like detailed words for the digestive system since they haven't really reached the point of like carving people open and understanding how all that stuff works. So normally when they're saying stomach, they mean like anything that is part of your digestive tract. So they could mean stomach, they could mean like that it's going to make you pee a lot, they could mean it's going to make you shit a lot. It could mean a number of things. They don't really have a word to separate those kinds of things very specifically. So stomach is kind of like a general purpose term for like all the things in like your digestive tract.
Do I have any clue what this liquid might be?
No, you've never heard of boom boom juice before.
Is it safe for consumption?
It's safe. It's very safe. Lots of people like it. See, him over there, and he points to a dark, like, brown goblin who has, like, some red face paint on his cheeks. He love boom boom juice. He say boom boom juice, give him boom boom. You know, with lady goblins, the boom boom. He weird though. I think it just give him lots of runs to pits, you know? So, what you want? You want regular or boom boom?
Part of me wants to get the boom boom just so I can figure out his reaction.
Up to you. I mean, I'm all about people rolling fortitude saves, so...
You like froze.
Oh. I'm all about people rolling fortitude saves, so... But I'm the GM. I'm always in favor of people having to make as many checks as possible.
Well, maybe I want to test this liquid.
Ooh, you want one for self?
I
give you tiny sample if you want tiny sample. He like picks up a glass that looks like almost a thimble and like dips it in another like smaller little barrel and then sets it down on the counter. You take try? Tiny taste. Free on house.
I mean, I was gonna get a cup.
Right, but this sample for you. You want sample, you say. Taste sample. You like. I sure.
I take a tiny sip of it.
Okay, so you're gonna take a tiny sip. So a tiny sip is basically this whole thing. That's still enough.
Right.
Give me a fortitude save.
Oh boy, I instantly die.
Okay, you're pretty fine. The effects of this little bit of it aren't so bad, but you definitely like as you take the shot, it kind of burns through your throat. You think that like if this stuff were like poured on top of a piece of string, that it would make like the sound of like right before dynamite blows up. It kind of like tickles its way and burns its way down. And when it gets to your stomach, there is definitely this feeling that your stomach is not used to feeling before. That feels almost like your stomach just caught fire. But overall, things feel kind of okay. A little unsettling, but okay. Uh-oh, I think she froze.
Oh gosh, that was a long freeze.
You like Boom Boom?
It was certainly interesting.
Oh, it better in big doses. I give friend whole mug. I give you discount on whole mug too.
Do I have any idea? Do I have any better idea of what this is, or do I still not know what it might be?
Do you have any ranks in alchemy? Craft alchemy is what it would be.
No.
Then nope, no idea.
So should I do this?
Got 2 nods from your party members.
I'm gonna get him a glass. I'm gonna get him a cup.
Okay. So you ordered up. That'll be 5 silver. That big discount. And he like picks up the smaller barrel and pours it into the mug, and then hands it to you. You take to friend. I excited. Friend going to love.
Let me just work out the money thing real quick.
Okay. 1 gold is 10 silvers, by the way.
Okay.
Weirdly, one of the most commonly forgotten about math equations in all of D&D. What is the gold to silver to copper conversion rate?
What about our electrum?
No, there is no electrum.
I go to start walking out, and then I remember I'm in here to ask a question, not to like possibly kill my party member.
Good job. All right, go ahead, ask away.
I was meaning to ask, do you know who's in charge of the place?
Ah, yes. You want Goblin Boss. Mudblood Boss. He good man. Goblin. He like you. Man goblin. But different kind man goblin. Bigger man goblin. Furrier man goblin. Like bear man goblin.
Where can I find him?
Oh, he in center building. He in big house.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I walk back out.
Okay. Alright. You've got a drink all prepared. Jack. Shack Saga has brought you a new drink.
It's
Alright.
a wonderful mug of fun.
Okay. I guess I look at it.
Okay. Yeah, Ozzy, that definitely seems fine. Nothing weird about her saying big mug of fun at all. This looks a little. Give me a perception. This isn't like a high perception, but I still want you to give me a perception because you could Ozzy this right now. No, this is very clearly different from the last one. There's like a bit of like a not quite a bubbling per se, but you definitely like think this is Rice Krispies almost. It's snap, crackling, and popping at the top. And there's a little bit of like fizz on it at the top.
Alright, so this is the strong stuff, I guess? It smells like alcohol?
It does smell like alcohol. It definitely smells like alcohol.
Alright, I mean, I'll take a drink of it.
Alright, give me a fort save.
Strong stuff is one way of putting it.
Damn! So you take down the mug, and for a moment, like, it feels like your mouth just caught fire. But that happens, like, as you're swallowing it. So, like, it hits your mouth, and there's not much of anything. You, like, swallow, and this is more of it, like, as it moves, having an effect on you. So your mouth, like, catches fire, and then your throat has, like, this rolling burn sensation. Like, you can feel exactly where the alcohol is in your throat as it goes down it. And as it creeps towards your stomach, you can feel, like, that feeling you have when you come up to a stove and you like slowly put your hand closer and closer to the heat of the stove. Like, you know you should pull your hand away because it's gonna burn you, but this doesn't care. It's gonna hit the fire. And as soon as it hits your stomach, like, you can feel like this gurgle kind of sensation, and then like everything just kind of rumbles up in your stomach. And you can feel like your stomach outside getting warmer and warmer and warmer. And then you can, like, you feel as if your stomach is about to kind of, like, shut down on you. When you just kind of, like, take a deep breath and, like, breathe out. And you feel this, like, fire in your belly just kind of stick there. But you have, like, this uncomfortable feeling now of, like, flame in your stomach, such a heat coming from your stomach that you feel like if you put like an ice cube up against your stomach, it would melt instantly upon touch. But you do not hurl, and you do not experience the immediate digestive problems that it has to the leaving portion of the drink.
Alright, yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, I can't believe you got the save.
I mean, I was planning on just shitting myself and smelling like goblins. I figured that'd be a benefit to our diplomacy. But,
It's all over again.
But, alright. So did you get the info? Do we know who their, leader is?
Yeah.
All of you, by the way, can hear his stomach kind of like gurgle and rumble a bit here and there. It does not sound like there's anything natural sitting inside of him.
Jack, you
take
feeling okay?
Wait from him.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Too much goblin piss, I think. Where are we headed?
To the really big building.
What time of day is it, by the way? Is it too late to go there now, or is it?
No, you're still good. You guys only
Okay.
spent about 7 hours on the road. It was early morning when you left, so there's still plenty of daylight.
All right. So you guys up for heading there now, then?
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds good, I
I
suppose.
guess, yeah, just fill us in on the details, Shakasaga, as to whatever you found out, and we'll head over.
All right, you guys make your way over to the big building in the center. Again, it's a very large mud dirt mound that just kind of goes up. That almost looks as if it's like jagged at the top. There is a very large like cave-like cutout in the side of this giant thing. There's no door on the front. And you can kind of very clearly see as you're moving towards it that there are two goblins that are decorated in like what looks kind of like wood style armor. They are both like a very dark chocolatey black, standing outside of the entryway. They both have spears in front of them.
Okay, before we get over to them, though, I wanted to remind everybody the plan here.
Mm-hmm.
So Shakasaga, if they only speak Goblin, it's gonna be on you, because none of the rest of us speak it. But if they speak Common, Ozzy was gonna try with his knowledge of diplomacy here. So guys, so remember what we're trying to do is they owe us. Well, we're trying to get the gold, but in their benefit, we'll be watching over the town. We can do them some sort of favor. Essentially, the military is offering them protection.
And plan B is intimidation?
Well, it'll really depend on how it goes. Like, if we see something else we can use, then we'll use it. If not, yeah, we'll have to threaten them.
All right.
And I mean, they are goblins. They might only respond to threats. But
Pretty scared of us when we came in here.
yeah, so I mean, we'll try diplomacy, but if that doesn't work, we'll do what we have to do.
You guys are still out of character? You guys are still hurt, though, right?
Yeah.
And we can see this visibly, so maybe I'll just say, maybe we don't look too threatening or worth bargaining with if there's still blood all over you.
Point.
Well, I mean, you can use that as a story, like, who knows what we killed and ended up like. I mean, fuck, man, we could say we took down that pack of lions that attacked Ozzy.
All right.
I'm sure goblins are gonna respect lions,
If not, I'm not opposed to getting some goblin blood on my clothes.
Man, it all looks the same. It'll match real well with the rest of it.
Well said.
All right. So
Right.
yeah, hopefully they speak Common though.
You make your way on towards it. The two goblins at the front cross their spears as you move towards it. They speak up in Goblin at first. You know pass! And then in Common, you know pass!
We're just here to see boss.
Why you see boss? You got visit? You got gifts? Shiny gifts?
No, I don't happen to have any shiny gifts on me.
And why you think you get see boss?
Well, none that aren't for the boss, that is.
Oh, you know, say for boss. You got shiny gifts for boss?
You wouldn't want from him. Yeah, he might not like that.
What? Well, you cut out there. Sorry.
I want to take the shiny gifts from him. That might be a bad idea if I gave them to you and not him.
Oh, but you have shiny gifts that you want give boss.
Like you're trying to take a cut of his gifts.
No, we don't want to take cut of gifts. No. We not trying to take cut of gifts.
Promise I won't tell him then when we get in there.
Give me a diplomacy. This is a little more of a bluff, but I'll let this go as a diplomacy.
What? I won't tell him when we get in there.
Nice.
All right. Oh, okay. You tell boss, right? We tell you bring him gifts. All right. Good. You go. They move their spears. Do what? You keep cutting out. I don't know why.
I'll put in a good word for you guys.
Excellent. And they step off to the side and let you through. They shout in, boss, or they shout in Goblin Shax, which you understand. Boss, this one got lots shinies for you.
I'll whisper to Ozzy. Don't worry, we'll explain that it's shinies in the future if he takes our deal.
As you come in, the first thing you notice is there is a hole at the top of the building. There looks to be like a cover that's kind of lowered down with a long stick attached to it. The cover looks like it would cover over the hole at the top pretty well. Seated on a large, almost throne of mud and dirt and stone, is a rather huge, very furry, dark, again, very brown bugbear. And he sits with a wood-carved scepter in his hand on the throne and looks down at you with a very, very small goblin off to his left. The goblin is probably the shortest goblin that any of you have seen, at about 2'1". You have valuable items for me, he says in common.
Yeah, we came to valuable items.
Normally, humans that come here to take valuable items.
No. Well, what's valuable to you?
The same things that are probably valuable to you. Safety,
Of
gold,
course.
food, and land.
Of course, and the top one of those is safety.
Do one of you live at a train station?
Probably a train outside my house, or I live near the train station in Steger.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I just needed I needed to make sense why there were so many trains at one time.
I noticed that until you mentioned it. There we go. That should fix that.
All right. I'm just ruining immersions left and right. I am so sorry for those people that were getting deeply ingrained in my failure to use words properly storytelling. Oh.
Here because, like you said, the first and foremost, protection, the most important one.
Yes. Protection. Safety. You think valuable items are safety. He said shinies, not guardianship or protection.
Oh, must have been lost in translation or something.
I kind of speak up here. What was said was, see, safety comes along with more keeping your shinies in the future safe. If you don't have safety, you're gonna lose shinies. So we're in fact giving you more shinies with safety.
And how will
lions around here.
How will you provide us safety? We don't normally hear safety from humans.
Exactly. That's why we're here. We offer protection from anyone that wants to mess with you guys. Any humans come around here wanting some goblin blood, you call us, and they'll have to deal with us before they even get to you.
How will we reach you?
But you don't have any messengers?
Where would we send them to? Do you have a home nearby?
Out of character, where's the camp located? It's
the camp is to the southeast. Yep.
Is that confidential information?
No, you can. The camp is not at all worried about someone trying to overtake the camp. The camp isn't always there at the same time, but shortly, you guys would know this much. Shortly before the camp moves, they let many of the places know where the camp would be moving to, so that if anybody has any major problems, they still know where to send a messenger to.
So then I'll say, have you heard about that big military moving about?
No, we've not heard anything about that. We've been dealing with our own issues.
I'm gonna sense motive to see if maybe he actually has heard of it and he's pretending.
Sure. No, you get the impression he's not being deceptive here. That he's actually genuinely never heard about the military
Issues.
What
kind of issues are you dealing with?
Human issues.
Oh, the worst.
Yes.
I kind of say with a smart.
The absolute worst. We have a human that has been causing a lot of problems for our little village here. He's moved in not far to the east of here and has a lot of dogs. And well, I appreciate my children very much. They are not the most bold or brave of people to have serve you. And so the sight of dogs is enough to send many of them running to the hills. A human with a great number of dogs is enough to make most of the population stand down.
He just moved in of his own accord?
We can only assume. My thinking is that he moved into the area shortly after he realized we had valuables we were moving in from the mountains.
Oh, so what you're saying is safety does correlate to shinies.
Yes. We're not failing to understand what your potential offer is. We have our doubts that you're able to protect us as well as you imply.
Alright, but so essentially we take care of this dog problem, and as a example of the military's might, then we can maybe develop a working relationship.
I would say we can. That will start an open line of communication between us.
Whoa, start? We don't work for free. If we take care of this guy, what's stopping you from just ignoring us completely?
Well, there will be others. We know that there are many threats all over, and threats tend to migrate towards places where there are valuables. So a long-term relationship with a protection group could be of great benefit to us. as long as the arrangement is fair. So, since you bring it up, what is the cost of this arrangement?
Do we know how often they plan to send out collectors, or?
No, at the moment you do not. Collection seems to vary a bit. You guys have only gone on a handful of runs. You just know how much it is this time around.
How long ago had I been sent out?
You were just a few days ago. Usually, if just the right amount of time passes, like your mission was supposed to be a 48-hour mission because you were just running out here surveying things, asking if they asking how much money they have, and then coming back. If you could even get that question out, like this was your trial run when you were going out.
All right, listen, big guy. Can I call you big guy? What's your name? My name's Arius. What's your name?
My name is Muck.
Muck. A name fitting of a king. All right, listen. Our superiors send us here to collect 200 gold from you for protection. Now, I know that's a lot. But listen, you are a mighty warrior, I can tell. So for you, we'll do it for 100 gold, and we will tell the superiors that you guys are a mighty village and you deserve a cutback on what we normally would charge to protect this size of a village. And as a sign of good faith, we'll take care of this dog problem, and you can pay us half now. When we come back, you pay us the other half, and that you'll be good for protection for a set amount of time.
Okay. So here I want Ozzy to give me a diplomacy, and I want you to assist it with a bluff.
Ooh.
Excellent. So that is a very good pair of rolls. So he will agree to your terms. He will offer you the equivalent of 50 gold up front in the form of a sapphire gem that he will hand over to who?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Anybody got appraisal to make sure that that's 50 gold?
I got appraise.
Yep. Shex, give him an appraise.
Make sure that that's the right amount, if you don't mind.
It does appear to be. You'll find him to the east. When you return with his head, we will pay you the remainder. A more than fair arrangement.
More than fair.
Yep.
He has quite a number of dogs, though, so do be careful.
Do you know what he looks like, or?
He is rather ugly even for a human. He has many scars on his face and has let his hair grow in a very odd way. He wears minimal clothing and growls like a dog himself instead of speaking normal most of the time.
And we should be able to find him easily just to the east?
His dogs usually leave a pretty easy to follow trail.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else we want to bring up before we...
No, sounds good.
Resting before we go, but...
Yes, do you have any place to rest before we set out again?
You're very big. We don't have an inn. We don't have a lot of travelers through here, but I can put you in the stockhouses. They're currently empty at the moment, so it's good timing.
What is a stockhouse?
Basically, where they put all of their stuff that they are getting ready to trade.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like a warehouse.
Yes, but he uses the term stockhouse.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. And then in Goblin, he shouts out to the front for someone to come forward, and one of the goblins comes rushing in one of the goblins with the spear. He says a few more things back in Goblin. Shax, you know him to be telling him to fetch another goblin to escort them to the stockhouse, and he rushes off. And only a couple of minutes later, comes back with another goblin, and the goblin looks up to all of you. Follow him. He will take you to the stockhouses. You rest there for the night, and then you kill human.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. All right, so the stockhouses are fairly close. They are this building here.
Okay.
So you may rest there. There are no beds in the stockhouses. So you'll either be sleeping on the floor or in a bedroom.
We brought that tent, so we can set up a tent in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a bedroll.
Okay. And that will give you the ability to rest. Is there anything else about town that people want to do before they rest?
No. I'm gonna. Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna go grab some food. I'm gonna keep this the meat for the dog.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna care if it's a day bad.
Okay.
Like that's not rotten enough for dogs to care.
All right. So you're gonna get food. Is anybody else gonna join them to get food, or anybody else got anything else they want to do?
Do I know how to cook any of the meat?
Do you have profession cooking?
No.
Then nope.
Does he know how to cook any of the meat?
He also does not have profession cooking. He either needs ranks in survival or ranks in profession cooking. Survival will let you cook it to the point that it's edible, but you're not really concerned with the taste. Profession cooking will allow you to make it into something nicer.
Yeah, I mean, dogs are gonna want the meat raw, so.
Alright, so Jack is going to get food.
Keep, your steak for the dogs, or if you want to try and cook it. 2 pounds is probably enough for dogs.
Yeah, probably.
I'd like food.
Okay.
I'd like to eat this bison.
You want to try to cook up you can try to cook up the bison if you want.
You can ask me for a ration as well.
Can I ask Jack to help me figure out how to cook this?
Oh, well, do we have somewhere with a fire?
No, there's no fire in the stockhouse.
Like in town, they got big bonfire or anything like that?
No,
I do have flint and steel and an iron pot and a mess.
Yeah, we don't want to risk
that's what I was gonna say.
risk a fire in here when we're trying to get on the good side and all that.
Shiksaga, how about you just have one of my rations and we save the meat for later?
I'm going to give you, Shaksaga, I'm going to give you an intel check here real quick. Just because this idea doesn't seem to be popping in your head. But I think if you really want that bison, this idea might pop into her head.
Okay. Oh,
okay, you think about it and you're like, I wonder if that tavern had food in it. I wonder if I could ask them to fry up this bison.
Ooh. Well, I know what I'm doing. I tell them, actually, I may have a way this can work.
Okay.
Alright.
It means they had to have some way to cook the food. Which means that they would have some way they could cook my food. If I talk to them right.
Yeah, I mean, I was planning on going down there getting some food too.
But I'm eating a ration instead.
So since you speak Goblin, it'd probably be.
So
Sorry,
Arius
The
also
alcohol was
wants one of my
actually
rations?
surprisingly pretty good, so
yeah, so it sounds like Arius and Ozzy, you guys are both going to eat a ration.
How much I trust their food after I have drank their drinks.
Okay.
Wait, do you have your own rations or do you need one of mine?
I brought some with. It's
Okay.
pretty much the only thing I brought with. I totally forgot to get a bedroll.
Well, you're not sharing mine.
I think Jax might want to.
I'll actually
Holding
say,
hands.
Jax, perhaps we should all go for a drink while you eat, just to perhaps gather some more information on this guy. It's made him sound like he might have been some sort of druid, perhaps even a werewolf or something. He said he growled like a dog as well. Are we worried about this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was hoping to get some info from the tavern.
All right, I'll just tag along and have a drink and see if we can gather any more information.
Okay. All right, so you guys head on over to the tavern. Michelle, how are we doing on time? Are you okay to be up a little later?
Not really.
Can you real quick check in and see if we can get about 10 or 15 more minutes?
I can see.
Okay, thank you. All right. In the meantime, you guys are heading over to the tavern. As you arrive, all of you obviously have to kind of crouch to get inside. Once you're inside, there's a little bit of a slant to your heads that got to stay at, or maybe a little bit of hunch you have to move through here. Where are you guys going? A lot of the seats here are not necessarily human size, so it's going to be a little uncomfortable to sit.
Are we able to, like, just kind of slide one of those seats to the side, kind of take a, like, knee next to the table?
Sure, you could do that.
All right.
How are we doing, Michelle? We good?
We can get up to 15 more minutes.
Okay, good. That'll let us get to a good stopping point. Okay, so you take a knee. Shax, you're going up to the counter to see if they'll fry up your bison.
Yep.
All right. So you have a talk with them. They say they'll cook that up for you. They'll either cook it up for you if they can keep half of it, and they won't charge you for it, or they want 5 silver to cook it up. Because they say it's going to be a real hard thing to cook up this cut of meat. Ether bison. This looks a bit rougher than normal meat. They feel like they'd have to put a little more work into it, a little more time, and they want to make sure it's cooked up right if they're going to do it.
I'll give them half.
Okay. They are.
Go ahead. Because if they're also eating it, they have to cook it up right. Because otherwise, they'd die.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Arius and Ozzy, are you both going to the tavern as well to get some info? Did I hear that correctly?
I am.
Okay.
I don't know if Ozzy is.
I mean, I don't know how much info I'm going to gather, but...
Okay. So you guys can both head on in. Are you guys going up? Are you guys going to sit at the table together, or are you guys going to sit separately?
The table.
Yeah.
All right, so you all have a seat. So Jax, here they don't have a whole lot of options, but they do have some meats. They have some goat. They have a handful of chickens. A handful of like things they'll make up with chicken. But overall, like a lot of this, everything that you see on like this list of what they have for food is in Goblin, and Shax can translate some of this, but a lot of it doesn't translate well. And Shax, you haven't really eaten a lot of like Goblin style food, so much of what you're trying to explain, like there's not really an equivalent from like what this means in Goblin to what this means in Common, unless you've actually eaten these dishes.
Alright, so I mean, pretty much I'm going to be picking randomly then.
Yep. So do you want the goat dish or you want the goat dish or the chicken dish, really?
Oh, I'll take the chicken dish.
All right, and then go ahead and roll me a d6. This is basically how spicy you're going to end up getting it. The higher the roll. All right, so you're going to get a pretty spicy chicken dish.
All right. I handled the fiery drink fairly well earlier, so I think I can handle a mid-tier spicy chicken dish.
Yeah. That should be pretty easy for you to ingest. At a 4, I won't even give you a fort save on that. And Shax, your food is let's find out. Let's see just how well your meat turns out. Oh, Shax, I'm so sorry. It comes back, and they are very apologetic. Like, they bring the meat out to you, but it is like blackened around the outside. Like, they obviously cooked this way too far. And they're like trying to explain to you, we were cooking it and it wouldn't cook, and then all of a sudden it cooked really fast. It was like cold, fire! We sorry.
Alright, here's Shek Saga. I can give you a piece of mine and keep that for the dogs. If they're willing to, cook a different piece for you.
I asked the goblins about that idea.
We burned both pieces.
In the hallway, too.
We very sorry. We also eat. It still tastes okay. You try? Just try. It still tastes okay. Please try. Please.
I try a bite of it.
Okay. You have a grub score of 10, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to you, you recognize, like, it does have some good flavor. You really wish they wouldn't have burnt it, because if you carve it right, and it does seem to take, like, a lot more to carve this than it would normally take to carve up a piece of meat. But when you get kind of towards the center of it, and you get some of the, like, scraps here, you, like, scrape off little bits here and there, and you get some really good bites out of it. There's not really enough good bites to really enjoy this as a meal, but there's enough good bites to let you know, like, somewhere in this was something very delicious. We very sorry. If you ever have other meat you want us cook, we cook meat for you, no charge.
Fair enough.
And they head back to the kitchen. All right. So as you guys are sitting around, let me have you guys give me perceptions.
Wow, I didn't know that was possible for one of my characters.
Shaq's finally getting a good roll. All right, so Ozzy, we're going to do the same thing with you. You got a good perception there, so go ahead and give me a sense motive.
Alrighty.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, that's
All right. So I'm gonna do yours first, and then I'm gonna jump back to Shaq's here. So you're like kind of leaned over, and you're overhearing like some people bicker back and forth, and like you hear their voices kind of like raise back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then you hear like what sounds like a blade being drawn. And you, like, turn your head to look over, and they both, like, look back at you, and they're, like, staring at you menacingly with one of them with a blade in their hand. And they just keep staring at you.
Look over towards Jack and look over back towards them.
With my perception, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, you don't get what he's talking about. There's just
What's going on?
There's a pair of people over there, like, eating some meat and carving into the meat. And they're like looking about. Since he's pointed out, though, I will give the two of you a perception to see what's going on here. Just for this specific thing.
That looks like nothing. What are you talking about?
You're not even interested.
Can't
Like, you could
even-
care less. Jack, you don't really necessarily catch on to what's happening here. But Ozzy, when you turn your head back to them, they are staring at you again. They have like not taken their eyes off you this whole time. You think you're starting to think maybe they might want to eat you.
It's like
Staring
that.
at me.
It's like that Twilight Zone episode with the thing on the airplane. He keeps bringing people over, and it's always gone. But then he'll see it.
They keep staring at me, and they look real hungry. And one of them, I'm pretty sure, has a knife.
Knife.
Yeah, they're eating.
Hungry, and they look like they're staring at me specifically.
All right. I mean, how about we keep a watch tonight? You know, that's
Good.
Well, speaking of which, what's our plan here to get some information? I got a kind of good plan. Maybe I just rile the bar up, I buy some drinks, get the tongues flowing with some alcohol. What do you guys do? Some dice rolling, get them relaxed, then we'll pop our questions. What do you guys say?
well,
I
I
for
mean,
that.
yeah, I mean, should be fine though. To be honest, we're doing something that they want, like we're killing this human, the guy who's
Yeah,
been
but-
terrorizing their town. So, I mean, I'm sure they'd be happy to give us the info either way.
Yeah, but I say in a hushed voice, are goblins that smart? Like, come on. I just throw them some alcohol. They'll tell us what we want. They want to ask questions. They'll get over the fact that we're human.
Stop wanting
Trust
to
me,
eat me.
I got a whole thing planned out.
Okay, well,
Yeah, sure.
you're discussing this real quick. Shax, you're sitting where you're at, and you're for the first time is like you're sitting here eating your food. You notice your brain is kind of relaxed, and you're not really focusing on note taking, and it makes the sounds around you just much easier to kind of make it to your ears. And you overhear some people sitting aside, and in Goblin, they're talking about like they don't have no dogs. Oh no, boss says they're here to save us. They're gonna save us? Yeah. Boss says they not terrible humans. That why they traveling with, like, goblin-y person. Oh. They might be heroes. I don't know about heroes. They humans, so they not terrible people. They still smell bad. Yeah, they smell horrible.
So what do
Well-
you guys say?
You think
Yeah.
I don't see dogs. Yeah, that would mean they're really bad, right? Because other human is dog human, right? Yeah, he comes in. He got face that very hairy, like Big Boss, but hairier. Yeah, I'm glad they're not them. At least these humans not so hairy. I like less hairy humans so far. They look like they normal-ish. Alright. That is what you picked up on.
I'm getting some drinks going and some gambling.
Okay.
It froze again.
That's alright. So you guys can start doing that, and we will come back with the results of that next week. Real quick, I want to dole out some experience. John, you'll be familiar with this. This is another thing that I borrowed from Hardcore Heroes.
Yeah, super.
Really from second edition. So I didn't know that this table existed, and I always wanted to have something like this, but never really had a good way to implement it. And this table was a really nice way to do that.
Mm.
So, for XP, first of all, everybody go ahead and take 400 experience for having a good interaction with the town.
Wait, what track of XP are we on?
You are on the normal XP track.
Medium, so 2000
Yes.
is what I'm at for
Yes.
second level.
Medium is what you are on. Let's see here, and I need to pull up the XP for the bison.
Alright, so how much did we start with?
How much what? You're getting 400 right now. 400
Okay.
each. And from the bison is only split between not. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll let the party decide. Should Ryan get a cut of the bison XP?
Only
Yeah, that's
if
fine with
he
me.
heals me tomorrow.
Before we go to sleep, I'm gonna suggest that. Well, actually, I wouldn't know, but I guess out of character, if anybody hasn't used their amulet in the next day, that way I can save my.
Yeah, so you guys do get one recharge of your amulet, so if you need it, I don't think anybody does, but maybe somebody might want to share with Ryan.
Yeah, I'll give him one.
Ryan.
And maybe Tom, because he probably needs a
I could use another one.
I'll toss one to Jack because I don't know Ozzy that well.
Okay. Shax, are you going to share yours, or
Sure.
with who? Ozzy or Jack?
I'll see.
Okay. So sharing will get both of you 50 XP.
Nice.
We're healing right now. What was it? 1d6 plus 1?
1d8 plus 1.
1d8. Okay. Before we forget, need to toss that on there.
Yep.
And of course, I don't put that slash roll again.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Much better.
Ooh.
What'd you get? Nice.
Arf.
Plus 1, so you get 7.
7.
All right, so each of you is getting 300 from kill. I'm sorry. It is higher than that. It is each of you is getting 500 from the bison,
Ooh.
and we had no recap. And I don't know if I'm going to give away recap on this one. Nobody had an idea that saved the party. In fact, you guys kind of had an idea that almost killed the party. I'm going to give all of you 100. I'll give all of you 200 XP for playing your characters well. And I will say that I'm going to give everybody another 100. I feel like you guys are doing a good job kind of passing responsibility amongst each other, which is nice to see. So that's an extra 100 for players encourage others to participate. And clever ideas. Like, I don't have anything particularly that stands out here.
Did me pretending to give him a bargain help at all?
Actually, I'll give that a clever idea. Go ahead and take 50 XP for that. That was a good idea to come in and give the assist on Ozzy. Because while I think Ozzy might have been able to carry that conversation on his own, that did help kind of tip the scales a bit. Aside from that, I can't think of too much else. So that is going to wrap up XP for the session. So we'll be on to do this next Thursday. We can start the prep stuff a little later. I usually start these calls about a half hour before, so about 6:30. That gives me time to troubleshoot, make any changes that might need to happen, answer any questions that might have come up throughout the week. Obviously, feel free to message me about any questions about the campaign that you want, either in here or in the Conscripted campaign page. Ryan will move you to the camp section so you can see all that stuff.
But we're shit talking them there.
Quick, delete.
And then, like I said, if anybody else feels interested in playing the campaign, you guys can feel free to invite them. Otherwise, they can reach out to me at Discord at Hey Steve. I don't know what number I am right now, but I'm Hey Steve some numbers. Won't let me see it while I'm in streamer mode. Or you can find us by joining my Discord. the Esteban Discord that comes up in the Twitch chat, or that is in a link that will be on the video description in the YouTube page. Anybody who joins can join in once the party gets back to camp. For up to 6 people, we have 2 extra slots open. So if anybody wants to join, feel free to fill out the application. Otherwise, that is all for this evening. Thank you guys so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed it.
Great
Yeah.
session.
See you guys next week.
Yep. See you guys.